One of the valuable benefits of this program is that people coming from the practice, they really know the problems and the issues which are facing the practice. So we have a lot of research which addresses today's challenging research topics. Let me give a few examples. Like we have currently several students who are looking at the reasons for banking crisis, behaviors of the bankers or financial institutions, and what led them to make bad decisions, and why they didn't care about risks and think about the reliability of the organizations. We have also students who have looked at the corporate governance and boardroom behaviors and try to understand why issues like Enron and so forth emerged during the early parts of the 2000s. These are just, there are many others which we can point out. Technology is another issue which is important for many organizations, and there's a challenge to study those types of topics. We have had several students who have looked at the challenges of either making decisions about technologies or how to adopt them in different organizational contexts. And as some of the other people here have pointed out, these have been published in top conferences and also in journals. This is a program where people enter at a much later stage of their career. And they are in this program because they are, first of all, curious about certain which really challenges them. And they are also very willing to learn how to address that issue. So there really isn't a traditional student-faculty relationship. It's more like a team or a pair of people where somebody is, it's more like an apprentice-master relationship. And you can see that in the way in which the faculty and the students operate. Both of them are learning from one another. The faculty is more like a facilitator and a helper in trying to understand and channel the research in the directions where the topics which the students find interesting really can be addressed. There's another aspect which I also want to emphasize, which is that the students establish a very unique relationship with one another, because they are not competing with one another. Each one of them is helping one another in trying to address the problems, and together they establish a learning community, because you learn from many different topics and many different areas which are important or interesting for all the students studying in the program. When students come to this program, they have learned to ask questions in a way in which you ask questions in practice, which is short-term solutions for problems which you are facing. They come to this program with the desire typically to understand some problem or practice. And what is the real challenge and where the faculty is valuable is to lead them sort of upwards or backwards and look the topic from the distance. And also to understand that how this problem is an example or instance of something which is a much broader or general issue. And also to understand how these more general issues can be understood and explained by some sort of theoretical argument. And that also leads them to sort of learn how to exercise, which I call doubt, that you have to doubt the data which you have to doubt the models, you have to doubt the research method which you are following, and engage in this type of critical reflection. This is a program which is focused on research, and it's focused on broadening the thinking perspectives and understanding of the students. So students need those skills which are necessary to be able to engage in an intellectual inquiry which is independent. Those skills involve capability of analytical thinking, capability of clear writing, capability of organizing a clear logical argument, capability of reflecting upon your work and assumptions of your work, a capability of being disciplined in what you do, capability of engaging with other stakeholders which are important in your research and maintaining relationships with them, being disciplined also towards yourself, so managing your time, your work, and your relationships in a way that you can achieve what you are expected to do in the first term, in the second term, overall the year, and throughout the whole program. We set up in this program very high expectations and standards for the quality of the work which students do here. It must meet all the rigorous standards of high-quality research in terms of intellectual contribution, the rigor in terms of methods and application of methods, and the rigor in how you apply data and evidence to support your arguments. As a result of that, we expect that this work can be presented in the best conferences towards the other academic audiences, which are leading edge researchers in those fields where the students work. And we have been capable of testing or providing support that we can do that. Large number of the students, about 60 to 70%, I think it's more than that, 80% present their work in the leading edge conferences towards other scholars in their fields. And these are conferences where the acceptance rates are very low, about 30% of the papers are accepted. I think that the reason why it attracts or why we get those acceptance rates is that the work is well done, it's well executed and written, and it's also typically addresses a topic which is important and relevant, and it's encouched in a theoretical frame which is understood and also topical in the research community. This is a doctoral program with the aim of producing scholars who can engage in scholarship. And part of that being a scholar is that you go and communicate your results and your findings and all the other things to the community for evaluation, discussion, and also for learning and contribution. And one of the nicest pieces of being in this program as a faculty is that when you see that so large numbers of the students get their papers accepted into the top conferences, and you can see the joy and the confidence which that raises among the students that they are capable of doing research which they have sort of looked from the distance like 2-3 years ago. And they can see that they have learned the craft and they can do what the others have done. And they can stand as independent scholars among the others. Entering a doctoral program is a little bit different type of game than entering undergraduate programs or other programs. All of them serve a certain purpose. Undergraduate programs or professional programs typically serve the purpose of providing certain basic skills that you can enter into a workforce and operate as an expert in a certain field. Doctoral program is also a sort of professional program in the sense that it establishes you as an expert in scholarship. Like other programs, it also involves the idea of a transformation. And many times this transformation is much deeper than the others because at the bottom you move or you transform yourself from being a recipient of knowledge to somebody who contributes to the knowledge. And you have to learn the process and the trade of being engaged in this type of knowledge creation. And that requires that you are willing to break up your established learning patterns. You are willing to critically reflect what you have learned, and you learn to question. And you learn to deal with doubt and questioning. But at the end, those who come out victorious and get the program, they say that this was the most important experience, learning experience in their whole life. It's really transformed them.